Hi, Nancy. Thanks for your presentation today to the Silicon Valley IABC. You talked about visual storytelling, and there were many aspects of your presentation that I'd like to capture in a kind of highlighted form for our members who couldn't make your presentation today.
Okay.
So the first question is about corporate storytelling. Like, what makes for a good corporate story?
Hopefully it doesn't have murder or anything like that in it, any
Hopefully
sort of
not.
dramatic conflict. But corporate stories, it's really tough to articulate exactly how, because everybody's story is very, very different. So I think that is the big thing. It has to be different. It has to be one they haven't been told before. It has to really stand out. So it's kind of a big question, and it's tough to say exactly, but I do think it has to have a well thought through story arc to it. It has to have a clear, start, middle, and end. But it also has to have, well, I already said that, it has to have something that's very different than anyone else out there to make you stand out.
So I'm thinking about corporate storytelling as separate but still connected to another question, which is like what makes for a powerful, memorable presentation. Like, what are some key elements in
your presentation should all map into your corporate story, right?
Yeah.
Everything that becomes the filter under which everyone does their communicating. So a powerful presentation, you're there in person. Most corporate stories are put out on the web or in a brochure, but in a presentation you're there in person. So you have to personify the brand and personify the message. You have to ingest them. You have to become carriers of the company's content and convey it in a really believable way and an emotional way. So we are really good at the analytical side, putting together the data, the stats, and all the analytics behind it. But we need to take the time to overlay the emotional part, and that's a harder step to do. And you have to dig deeper in yourself to make that happen.
Yeah. So how does that translate into individual slide design? Like, what would be some key points about how you would?
Yeah, so you have choices in how you build your slides, right? You're basically have a blank surface that you're. Hi, we'll start over. So you have a blank surface to start with your slides, right? And you're basically importing a bunch of objects, text, images, sound, audio, whatever.
Yeah.
How you arrange those things on the slide develops a sense of hierarchy and structure. So if you're trying to convey something, you need to make sure the hierarchy and the flow and the eye flow is meaningful and powerful to the customer. So the book, Slideology, actually addresses that in a really great way. It covers about 8 key principles that a design thinker needs to know, someone who thinks like a designer. And there's a lot of powerful principles there that transcend just slides. It's how you design in general. Yeah.
So the last part of your presentation, you actually refer to Martha Graham, and you actually have this slide behind you. Let's see if I can try to pick it up. It's a little dark. It's this very striking image of Martha Graham, and you talked about her very unconventional approach to dance because she was deemed herself so unconventional to actually pursue dance. And there's this quote here, and I'm not sure it's going to capture on the video so well, so we can just read it. I mean, how would you feel about reading it and then telling us what this means for you? Sure. And then, I want to segue from that into the arts and what we could learn from other artistic media and becoming better visual storytellers.
Yeah, so the quote is that there's a vitality, a life force, an energy, and a quickening that's translated through you into action.
Yeah.
And because there's only one of you in all of time, if you don't express that, your expression is unique, and if you block it, it will never exist on this earth. That's a little bit my own expression of it. But I think the way that happens and expresses itself in the arts is that we are not valuing creativity today, right? We're ripping it off. It's okay to steal it. It's okay for it to become Creative Commons. We're placing no monetary value on creativity. And one of the ways I think that creativity can have monetary value is when you create a powerful presentation and the stock price goes up, right? So there are ways that we could use music, we could use video, we could use dance, filmmaking, which is really presentation making is a form of filmmaking.
Sure.
We could use these and as we combine them and become more expressive and work on our theatrical skills, I really think we can change the world. I think the people who learn to express themselves visually and well are the ones that are going to win in this economic downturn. So that's my hope.
Yeah. Thanks for your points. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Listeners and viewers.
Thank you.